Hey, here's a little disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the MAWP organization. And there are some themes and subject matter that may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is advised.
Audio check. All right. Got my tea with extra honey today.
Good job.
Yes. Last time just wasn't up to par. I was unhappy.
Got my weed with extra THC.
There we go.
It's all the same these days. They tell you something, I don't even buy it anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. It's gonna be the thing that says the strongest.
Oh, much better. Tea with natural sweetener is the way to go. Every time I have to put white sugar in my tea, it's just like gnarly. It just totally ruins it for me.
Man, I've not used white sugar in a long time, and it's one of those things I'm really glad I broke the habit of. I've broke so many of these weird little habits that it's grown into a lot of hippie-like tendencies. But it's really, I mean, I used to drink a lot of soda when I was growing up. A lot of soda.
Oh, I used to. Now I don't drink it hardly. Maybe once a month, and I'll never have a whole soda. If I do have any pop, it may be just because it's the only thing there, and I just need something to sip on.
Yep.
And that's it.
Occasionally, I'll buy one of those craft kind of sodas, like a cream soda or an orange cream soda or something like that.
I'll do that, but like root beer.
Yeah,
like
root beer. But even that, I tend to shy away from almost anything carbonated whatsoever. And sugar, I stopped buying refined sugar and using it in things like coffee, tea. Like I stopped using cream and sugar in coffee several years ago now, and just little things like that. And it's rad. It's rad. I'm really into it, and I still will have little treats, like I'll buy peanut butter and chocolate chips, and that would be often. And then occasionally, and especially like the last month, go to the Mexican bakery. And after the last several years, there's a little Mexican bakery on 38th. They make a lot of very dry pastries, and but they're rad.
Mm-hmm.
They make a lot of rad stuff. If you get their stuff fresh, it's rad. And so I'll occasionally go there. Now, there's of course going to be some sugar in some of this stuff, but I feel that their stuff is way less sugar than most anything else you're going to buy. Like it's just because you can just tell it's not as sweet. It's not killing you with sweetness. And they're going to use some fat, some lard, or some butter, or like you. So there's some substance behind that. Because I don't mind it. I can gain a little weight. I was deathly thin, as anorexic or whatever for a while. Get this show on the road because it's snowing.
No.
And don't want to be caught in another blizzard.
Let's say, to me, I'm getting less and less caring of it because I know Sunday I'll be in Hawaii on a beach.
Yeah, unless they cancel all flights.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. With my luck, too. Or it'll just fucking snow in Hawaii.
It might.
With my
It's
luck.
done this too. It did recently this winter.
I know.
And and according to Prince, sometimes it snows in April. So you never know what you're gonna get. There was an April here, the April of 1991. It snowed in Washington. I remember being at Denny's with Nick and Bob, Nick Gordon from Papa Wheelie, and Bob, who was not in Papa Wheelie at the time. Actually, neither of us were. We were all. This was 91, so this was Bonzort and Ashbib era.
Yeah.
And that's when it was, right? I'm pretty sure. And for whatever reason, I was wearing shorts, and I remember this, like some of the events of the night, is that Nick lit a fart under the table, and it burned the hair off my legs. And then it started snowing. Yeah. So here we are. Welcome to the MAWPCAST. It was the MAWPCAST 1 radio program brought to you by MAWP Tacoma. We're your hosts, Potter and Soundman Chris. And we come here every week to play local music from the greater Tacoma, Pierce County area. I did that all unrehearsed. I just made that up off the top of my head, yeah.
Awesome.
It's because I'm an internet personality. And it just comes right out. Once you get on the internet,
You're just fluid now.
Yeah. I was thinking you need to start a bunch of social media accounts. You could be a social media influencer, like because the kids love that. They love people to tell them what to do. Like, tell us what to do. Tell us how you take care of your puppy. We want to know. It's actually not all fun and games here today. There was a man who passed away in the last 10 days or so since we recorded our last show.
King Kong Bundy?
King Kong Bundy did pass away also. Rest in peace. 5 count. King Kong Bundy was all time. Loved King Kong Bundy. No, there's a man named Jeff Daniel, and he used to be in a band called Running with Scissors, and he used to run
that's right.
a magazine called Pandemonium and The Reporter. And I actually grew up with Jeff, kind of, out in Ording. When I was like 9 or 10 or so, my family moved out to Ording, and we lived on some property adjacent to my uncle. And my older cousin, David, was best friends with Jeff Daniel. And I got to become friends with his younger brother, Robbie, for a period of time while I lived out there. And they were a great family. They were just a bunch of really stand-up, nice people. And I always found that kind of fascinating that Jeff came from there and ended up out here. There was a lot of people throughout my life that sort of would end up in the scene here that I always found fascinating, because some of these, coming from where I was and based on where a lot of those people ended up, they just didn't end up in artistic avenues in life. You know, they were just more down to earth, hardworking, blue collar people. And that was what was instilled in us, especially in the outlying areas like Ording. When you were being brought up, your parents wanted to keep us away from the big city and the evils of what was going on out here. And
with good reason too.
As I've grown up, I found that they had good intentions in it. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. My dad was terrified of the city. Didn't want us to have anything to do with it, and didn't like to ever come out here. Oh, yeah. And he avoided it and to be fair, in the 80s, especially 70s and 80s, since the 50s, Tacoma deteriorated, and by the 80s, it was a war zone. It was bombed out, boarded up buildings and crackheads, and it was just it was like a scene from a movie that you don't see too often in anywhere in America. There's isolated pockets in America that get that bad, and we became that, and it was my first experiences in Tacoma, they were they were defining. They were wow, I was the people are tough. And there was a lot of shit going down, and you had to kind of be on your toes and be savvy to navigate the streets. And I was dumbly at a young age, just trucking along, getting to know them, But that helped me adapt a lot to what was going on. Anyway, I don't mean to stray too far away from it. I just want to touch on that Jeff passed away surfing, and he was a great guy. Yeah, yeah. At least he went doing something exciting. Fun, yeah, but. Too young to go, man. It was, it's only a few years older than us. Might have been your age, or you're just a couple years older than me. So right in the same vein. It's all in the same pocket. And he will be missed for sure. Not to bring the show down, but we'll touch on these things. Also, this last weekend there was a memorial for Trevor Lanigan over here at the Freight House Square, which is nice. Trevor from my name. These things happen.
I know.
The seasons wax and wane. You went to see a show last night.
Yes, I did. Mr. Billy Idol.
Steve Stevens.
Awesome show.
Steve Stevens shredding guitar. Now, was this full band or was it acoustic?
No, it was just both of them and an acoustic guitar and a $179 drum machine.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, he even said how much it cost.
That's right.
Yep. He was just like saying, yep, we are live, we are no tracks whatsoever. Me, Steve, and Steve goes, that's my $179 drum machine. So I was like, oh, right on, all right. And it was good. It was really good.
I've seen a lot of acts that do a lot with very little, and there's a lot of people who do stuff with triggers or digital accompaniment, and I'm all right with that. Like, there might have been a time in my life where I was like, they're playing along with the recording or whatever. You can take it on a case-by-case basis. Mm-hmm. And some people do it amazingly. Like, I don't know if you'd ever saw Deborah Page play. And her and Paul Uhl do it too. Well, they've had full bands also, but they've done their act as a duo with digital accompaniment, and they put on a good show, just the two of them. Like, it's really good. That the two of them can put on as good of a show as any band, and they sound outstanding.
Yep, it was great. It sounded great. It was kind of crappy because, if I go places, far places, I have to walk a lot. I can't walk a lot, so I have to have my girlfriend push me in the wheelchair. Well, where we're sitting with the wheelchair, as soon as everybody stood up, that's it. It's over with. You're seeing everybody's back, and I have the ability to stand up at least. I can stand up and I can support myself. But the gentleman next to me, he didn't have that. He wasn't able to stand up. And I was thinking the whole time, I was just like, this is fucked up. But luckily in the sitting position, you could hear it perfectly. It sounded amazing still. But, he didn't, he could go home and listen to radio all day long.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bummed out by that. So other than that,
Yeah, I've not been to that venue in a long time. I think I saw Slayer there in Testament. 91 also, in fact. So I don't know. It's an older venue, and it just is probably not have modern accommodations.
No. I actually had to wheel myself up a ramp.
Oh, no shit.
To go to the bathroom.
Oh, no shit.
And I was like, okay. All right. But, like I said, this place was before that. So,
yeah.
But, And then me and it's funny because me and Ashley got into a conversation about that. And we're all going, well, I would have got handicap tickets, but they were $300. Versus $100, and I was just like, so in order for a handicapped person to actually see something there, they have to pay 3 times as much as everybody else.
That doesn't seem right.
That doesn't seem right at all. That just, and I get why. They'd probably say, well, probably just get those people that that'll fake it just to get the cheaper price and the better seats and shit. And I get that, but.
Yeah.
But still, it's just lame that people have to do that and ruin it for people. And
well, it would seem like some proof would be required, but even still, like what you're saying, that's
a lot of people don't have proof that they're handicapped.
Well,
that's the bad part.
And a lot of people on disability are living off disability, and that's their that's not a lot to live off of.
No,
if you don't know. No. It's not easy to afford $300 show tickets if you
absolutely not.
And people may not know this who are just listening, but you have a debilitating condition, so you are in need of handicap facilities quite often, parking and wheelchairs accessible, just like you're saying.
Well, luckily where I run sound, there's plenty of places for me to lean, bar stools everywhere, so I don't have an issue there, and that's what I love about that place. The place is so cool.
Yeah.
But like when I was doing outdoor gigs, like at the wineries and stuff like that. There was nothing like that. So it was, and then it was out walking on grass a lot. So it's just kind of a sketchy thing the whole time. But I made it. So. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, the show was amazing. He did all the great songs. He even did songs I didn't even know he did.
Yeah.
That was like, that's his song? Oh, wow. And then he did some songs that I had never heard him do before that were just amazing. And it was in styles that I never really thought he would do. A little bit more slower songs and stuff, more mellow, ballady type songs. And it was just freaking cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing because as these artists get later on in years, they can still develop a way to reach an audience that appeals to people. Because some people don't. I saw just a glimpse this last week or so of a Whitesnake video. Did you happen to catch any of that? Whitesnake, new Whitesnake.
New Whitesnake?
Yeah.
With David Coverdale?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm almost afraid.
Yeah.
Because there was actually somebody that put a song out not too recently, too. And I'm trying to figure out who it was, and I listened to it, and you could tell it was them, but it wasn't the same. The energy wasn't there, the whole aura of it wasn't there. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. This was so bad that it could have been fake, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it probably wasn't. It was probably very real. Because actually, no, it was real because the footage was him now. So the footage in the video was him now. So it was definitely real. And it was just... And I didn't delve deep into it. Like, I just gave it a very peripheral gloss, and I was just, like, shocked at the bad product. Like, I mean, a lot of music is just a product, and this was a very bad product, just trying to capitalize on a brand, of the brand of Whitesnake.
Exactly.
And
that's sad. Very sad when that happens.
It's not only sad when it happens, but it
kills your brand, too.
Well,
it hurts it, at least.
It's also... if he were taking a more down-to-earth approach, like we're talking about Steve Stevens and Billy Idol taking, you would instantly have more respect for whatever he's delivering than trying to mask it with effects and studio trickery, and even through that, being able to hear that it's an old man trying to squeeze out something.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not good. It's cringy, very cringy. It's just like, just stop, just go away.
That's one thing that I know about Billy Idol. Every album he has was made well.
Yeah.
You may not like the song, but the song was made well. It was recorded well. It was put together well. It sounded sonically. It was where it needed to be. I mean, all of his songs. I haven't heard a bad sounding song of his.
No, you're right.
I mean, there are songs that I don't care for, but it doesn't mean that it didn't sound good.
Feel like his production took a weird turn in that when he was doing Money Money and a couple of those other ones, Cradle of Love, but it wasn't bad. But there was a couple, I remember it being weird because the other couple before that, leading up to that, Rebel Yell and whatever, those were very crisp.
Yep. The songwriting and everything.
Yeah. Speaking of songs, we should jump into some songs and move our day along.
What we got?
Let's start off today with some Sharky Waters.
All right, there we go.
I'm gonna bring you happiness. I'm gonna give you faith. You're gonna be the biggest thing, and everyone will
ça?
Ça,
Oui.
c'est Monsieur Gilles, un musicien amoureux.
Ah, il chante?
Il fait ce qu'il peut.
come together transatlantically. Let me hear you say, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, touch.
Voilà. Excusez-moi, j'ai quelque chose à faire. Ah.
Flying over the volcanoes, that's gotta be cool. In a
Uh-huh.
helicopter with no doors, so I could easily just jump out. I could sacrifice myself and save the whole world.
Pele, yeah.
Yep, save the whole world.
Maybe. Or just be the catalyst that triggers the demons to fly out of the volcano.
With my luck, it would be that, and then it would spit me out too, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, Luke Skywalker, or no,
Frodo and Sam on
no,
the
I'd
side.
be like Darth Vader. I'd be all there with no
Burned up.
legs, and one arm left, all crispy and stuff, and yeah.
People hate the prequels less. It's official. Like we're just going to talk about this now because now you've got me thinking about it. And there's been things that have solidified this in the world now. First of all, the new films are polarizing, especially the last one, The Last Jedi, was polarizing. And so if we go back in time, we for the longest time only had episode 4, 5, and 6,
Yep.
and that was all we had. And during that period of time, people started to hate Luke Skywalker. Fuck Luke Skywalker, swiney. And the more the years went on, fuck Luke Skywalker, swiney. Han Solo's cool, but fucking Luke Skywalker's just a bitch. He just fucking won't stop. And this just went on and on and on. And then the new movies came out. And when the new movies came out, they were met with fucking people just were so excited. And even after they come out, there was people who were seeing them over and over again, like the first one even, denying that there was anything wrong with it. Now, there are problems with it, but as the rest of the movies came out, I enjoyed them for the story they told. And they all contained all the elements that the old Star Wars contained. They contained the cute, fuzzy creatures and the silliness and the dumb jokes. All that was in Star Wars. Like people are in denial of that, but all that shit, fucking the Ewoks and the fucking dancing and the songs and all that shit is ingrained in those original movies too. It's not any cooler or any dumber. It's the same. Jar Jar is fucking horrible. It's a stupid character.
He is terrible.
But nonetheless.
I mean, if he didn't talk as much, I think it wouldn't have been as
Dude,
bad.
if you see some of the different edits where they put subtitles and put an alien language there over certain of these aliens, they're great. It makes it a whole different movie. There's some great fan edits of those films, but all that being said, so in the years since the episode 1, 2, and 3 have come out, there was just all the backlash. So much so that George Lucas said, "Fuck it, don't want nothing to do with it." And then these new movies have come out, and to me, have totally redeemed and validated all of Lucas's efforts because now he can see that it's not just him; it's the whole franchise that people are so attached to. Now, our generation grew up attached to Star Wars because of our affiliation with it, and there's a generation that was born and grew up with the episode 1, 2, and 3 that are very attached to those, and they see those as a better quality films than the ones that we love for a lot of reasons. They're better made. They're super shiny and pretty and fabulous, and a lot of that, even the CG can hold up pretty well.
Very much so, yeah. That's what I like about them.
Yeah,
still,
they're amazing. They're amazing. There's some great shit in all of them, all 3 of those movies. And Clones and Sith, man, they've got some great fucking shit in it. And the overarching story, the whole story, it's not the same story. It's not an intimate story of a few characters. It's a big, huge story, but it's still. And there are flaws in it. There's flaws in everything. There's flaws in the Marvel stuff, and we can critique that all day long too. But it's still it delivers what it set out to deliver, and it remains to be seen for me whether or not the current trilogy is. But what the current trilogy at least is doing is galvanizing the entire thing for me, and explaining to me why that fan base is so polarized by things because of their attachment, because of their expectations, and and it's people do, especially in this day and age where we are sharing all this stuff all the time and talking about it all the time, and it's relevant to us in pop culture. We do take personal interest in it, and we do have things we would like to see, and very little lives up to our imagination and expectations.
Oh, I know.
But we're not the ones writing those stories.
Nope. I don't know. I like them all.
There's currently there's a little dread with the idea that they're going to redeem Kylo Ren in the next movie, the last one.
Yeah, I kind of see that one coming myself.
And there's outright denial that Rey is connected to the Skywalkers and the fan base overall. That's what I see. I believe now. I do think that it's possible they're going to redeem Kylo Ren, and that is a bad move to me. I think it would be a better choice to let him die bad, because he's bad. He's just too dumb to be good.
Killed Han.
He's too dumb to get good. He's just too dumb. He's too fucking stupid. Like he's a passionate, fascinating character to watch, but he's not someone that's going to be redeemed. Now, I do believe that anyone
He
can...
throws temper tantrums way too fast.
I believe that anyone can come back from the edge. At any time, they can come back from the edge and they can be redeemed. But I don't want to see that in that story. That's me personally. That's my thing. For my personal take, Rey has to be a Skywalker. She's got to be. She is, to me, the daughter of Han and Leia. That's how I viewed this whole story. And if she's not, she's not. But that's how the narrative should play out. If you know anything about the old EU, if you read any of those books, there was Han and Leia had 3 kids in the old Legends stuff. They had 3 kids. They had Jason and Jaina or something like that. The Wonder Twins, and because they were twins, they were actually twins. They had the Wonder Twins and then a younger one named Ben, maybe. And so they made the older one named, or maybe Luke had the son named Ben, because Luke also had a kid in that now defunct canon, non-canon, the Legends. So the character of Rey is completely styled after the girl, Kira. Kira, that's her name. It's not Jace, Jan and Jace. It's Kira.
Okay.
And they were twins. Ben, or the character that we see as Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, and the character that we see now as Rey, they would have in the expanded universe been twins. Now they're not twins. They're not a different age. They're not being portrayed as a different age. But nonetheless, they're going to be brother and sister. That's my take on it. That's what I feel makes that will make everything in this trilogy okay for me, because this is supposed to be a story about Skywalkers, and I don't want to see that story ended with the redemption of Kylo Ren. I think that's cheap. And okay, I can see,
but you know what? That's Disney.
It's not. It's not even just Disney, because let's go back. That's what Lucas is doing. Lucas was trying to make Disney, but an alternative to Disney, because he was trying to make stuff that sold toys and appealed to kids and delivered what he wanted to see when he was 12 years old. And so and everyone is critical about it. It's hard to be critical of him for giving you what he's always given you, and for Disney to continue with that. Now, there are choices Disney's made, or the new regime is made under the Disney umbrella, that I don't think that Lucas ever would have made. But honestly, I do think that Lucas would have made a better third trilogy. I really think so. Especially if other people were directing it, and if he had taken in the lessons that he needed to learn, that he needed to relinquish more control rather than rein it in, because that's what he did in the prequel trilogy, is he just reined all power in and had the last say on everything, rather than where in the first trilogy, when he was making those first Star Wars movies, there was a lot of people in his ear saying, no, you shouldn't do that, that's dumb. They could talk to him like that. By the time he was fucking 60 years old, he couldn't talk to him like that anymore. 50, whatever. Anyway, we should go play some more music. So I think I've talked enough. We got things to do today. I'm getting snowed in as we speak.
I know. I don't think it's going to stick around, though.
Yeah, me either.
I try to drink it away. I tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away. Tried to change it inside my head. I let my vanity win. Thought them new J's would make it better. I tried to write it away, but that just made me even sadder. I tried to keep myself busy, trying to find my me. I almost ran myself dizzy. I laughed it away, I fucked it away, I gave it away. Looking at my watch and it's about that time for me to let you know that you was on my mind. Looking in my heart for something I can't find. Was waiting on the go, but now you say it's go time. Look at my watch again, you must be baby kid. You try and leave me. Trust me, baby, it ain't that easy. Know you know what I'm talking about, that's why you guard up. Last nigga lay you so hard, he let you scarred up. Last home girl you stay with, crashed your whip. You ain't never seen a healthy relationship. You don't know what it is to be independent. You do know what it is to be treated like shit. I'm aware of this, so your character I lift.
Just now catching on. It took us over a year till I figured it out. All I had to do was open a book, and I already knew these guys were crooks. I read it in school so long ago. Next month you'll catch it on CNN. Turn off that Fox News shit and sit down and just read a fucking book. Who doesn't like learning shit? How many books have you fucking read? I'm hooked, I can't stop reading books. There's a difference in doing that nowadays. Democracy is a new fucking idea. Just look at back at Greece and Rome. Quakers with the murder get the point across. And you think that prison shit is new? Computers been proposed at least since 1982. I remember my mid-grade teacher told me that back in the day. Remember to this day. Read a fucking book, who doesn't like learning shit? How many books have you fucking read? I'm hooked, I can't stop reading books. There's a difference in doing it nowadays. Undercover things happen, kids with activists. One of them might be here in our midst. die. Late to change what has begun. Light and fire from the sun. And now it's just too late for try to stop this holy war. And there's no way to resist. And there's no way to stop this. Oh, yeah. Now it's just too late for try to stop this holy war. And there's no time to resist. And there's no time to stop this. Just been on the door. She started out in holy ground. Too late, stop the war.
That's how it ends.
Well, that's pretty abrupt.
It was very abrupt.
Did I say crack?
It does. It's like green crack. It's not though. It's something else.
Not crack laced.
No, and I don't even know what it is because I'd pay that much attention. I bought it and then threw the bag away. So, it didn't come in.
Oh, you're just using the same jar.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I thought that was actually laced with crack or something. I was going to
No.
say, wow. I don't know. This
Crack
might
is
be-
illegal, Chris.
I know.
Like marijuana.
Might
You
be
can
a
buy it
crazy-
in any corner drugstore.
Might be a dangerous ride home.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll walk into the public bathroom down here at the bus station and there's been crack being smoked in there. You can tell.
You smell it?
Yeah.
That's one smell I have no idea really what it smells like.
Well, I hung around Tim and Tim smoked crack. And...
You know what? You're right. I think I've been around him when he smoked it before.
I
don't
remember. Jason and Nathan moved out to Tacoma here.
The Roy Y?
No, Tacoma, before the Roy Y.
Oh, okay.
They had an apartment right there on 8th and I, right by the cop shop.
Oh, that's right.
They had there for 6 months.
Yep.
And 6 or 3 months, I don't remember. They had a short lease and were in and out by the end of the lease. There's a few stories attached to that apartment that are notable. One that wasn't so notable was that early on, like the first week, Tim showed up and brought a couple of homies over and were smoking crack there in the kitchen. The whole place just smelled like crack. It's like, oh, this fucking sucks. Some of the other interesting things that were going on there. We smoked a lot of weed. We looked just like hell. And the neighbors, most of them thought we were Satanists. Couple of reasons for this. One, Jimmy got a little spun out once and took a lighter and burned something on the wall that he later said was Satan, and he just had a bad trip and had some Mormons come in and bless the place.
Hype man?
Yeah, and so the neighbors upstairs, particularly black family, they started thinking that we were all Satanists because we just looked fuck dark and we played Slayer and stuff like that. And we were just young, we were teenagers still.
Yeah.
And but they had there's a guy named Tony. He used to come and hang out with us and smoke out and stuff. And he's the one who told us that his mom and sister thought we were Satanists, and they were like, didn't like him hanging out with us. They're like, it was all this big deal. They eventually moved because of us. More so, just the general vibe of whatever they thought was going on. But it was a crazy dark neighborhood in general, like especially in 89, 90. No, 89. Shit. Anyway, so this was back when you couldn't just waltz into Wright Park, and especially you didn't go in there after dark, and there was gunshots every night from one direction or another. You just hear it. Hilltop in its worst.
Yeah.
And it culminated with the beginning of June. Jason had got the trailer down at the Roy Y, and we were all sitting there. We hadn't moved yet, and Jason. So we were here in Tacoma at the apartment, and there were some gunshots at a building, not just a half block away. And we looked out, and all these people started shuffling out of the building, and it was just weird, like gunshots, and no cops came, and we were 2 blocks from the police station. There was gunshots in this building. At least a dozen people left the building after the gunshots. No cops ever came. Ever. It's like, we're on 8th and I. 8th Yakima, they didn't, and so Jason was like, fuck this, we're out of here. We're leaving. We're going. We're just grab your shit. We're going to go out to the Roy Y. We're going to go to the trailer. We're not spending another night in this fucking place. And so we started loading the TV into the car to go out to the Roy Y. And then the cop shows up.
Oh, shit.
And Jason gets arrested because he had a warrant. And so he basically gets arrested for, moving his own TV because they thought we were stealing the TV. Yeah. And they come and stop for us possibly stealing a TV, but they don't come and respond to the gunshots that are a half block further. We're telling them. It's like, whatever. He's got a warrant. We're taking him in. He went to jail.
And they still never did nothing about the gunshots at all?
Not that I know of. Nathan and I drove the car out to the Roy Y. Ended up locking Jason out of the house, and he couldn't get in there.
Oh, shit. Out of the apartment?
Yeah.
Oh, because Jason went back to the apartment.
We had the keys. Jason went to jail with nothing. Michelle had to come and bail him out. Yeah. And we drove the TV out to the Roy Y, set it up, and got stoned, watched TV.
Jason's sad.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I went to Nathan's dad's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
And they still no word from Jason, nothing.
That's too bad.
And they're all saying that, as soon as they already know that as soon as they find Jason, they already know that Jason's going to yell at him for not trying to get a hold of him.
Yeah, well, let's not disparage poor Jason too much on the show. Jason, if you're out there, Hoyt, hey, buddy, call your family.
Get a hold of your family. Dude.
They'd love to hear from you. If anyone knows Jason Hoyt, steer him in that direction. Tell him not to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, it's not all about him.
Yep. All right.
Jason knows we love him.
Yep.
Doesn't care, but he knows.
Yep, he knows. So I'm going to Hawaii next week. It's going to be awesome.
That's fantastic. So how are you going to go? You leave on the 9th and you're going to be gone for how long?
I'm leaving. Well, the time of the flight keeps getting changed a little bit here and there. So I have to be at the airport at 4 o'clock Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pain in the ass. And then it's kind of weird because it's a 6-hour flight. We're taking off at, I want to say, at 6.
That's what you said, I think.
And we're landing at... No, we're taking off at 9 here, but we're landing in Hawaii at 11 o'clock.
Because you're time traveling.
Yeah,
That's
we're
right.
time traveling. Yeah, it's weird. So it's a 6-hour flight, but it's only taking us 3 hours.
Those flights cost a lot more.
Yeah.
Time traveling
Oh
flights.
yeah. It's a weird.
Usually they fly against the time.
Yeah, I know. Coming back's gonna be even weirder.
Yeah.
It's gonna be going through it.
It's going to take you like 80 hours.
Well, no, it's gonna be a 6-hour flight, but it's gonna be like, we're gonna be missing like 3 hours of time. I think, or something like that.
It's all so confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why people try not to time travel too much, because it'll get you.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's like I'm taking off. I'll be taking off like it's being taken off at 11. It's a 6-hour flight. Taking off at 11 o'clock, but 11. But landing at 2.
We can
So
always
it's like time
talk.
will be taken away from me. I'll be abducted by aliens halfway.
We can talk about
That
any-
costs more too.
Yeah, it does. We can talk about anything on this show, but anytime math becomes a part of the conversation,
I know.
yeah, my brain stops working.
I know mine too.
Yeah.
Well, I already know I fucked that math up. I'm just saying, there's like time travel and shit.
Now, what's funny is that there's all sorts of things that I thought I was very bad at math until I played poker, and I understood that I have some innate understanding of math, but the fine like percentages, I'm not, and the very fine points of math, I'm very not keen on. I'm just lazy about math. If I really applied myself, I could probably be better at math, but my brain doesn't want to. Like, it rebels hardcore, puts me to sleep. It's like, no, you're out. Bedtime.
I know.
Had
When
enough
they
of
start
you.
throwing the alphabet in with the numbers, that's when I'm just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I don't need that. I don't need that type of negativity in my life.
Variables. Fuck variables. I've really lost track of time in this third segment of the show. Oh, you know what?
What?
No, we're all right. Everything's fine.
We're fine.
Because I checked. I took a mental note of where we were in the world of time.
Oh.
Speaking of time. Yeah, because I trying to get control of things. Well, I'll tell you what, though. I am very happy with the way that we were able to just come in here and knock out a show without being too self-conscious or just sitting here and just going, fuck, this, what are we going to... What do we...
Well, it's just, we do what we always do when we
Yeah, yeah.
will not be recorded.
Yeah. That's why...
This is our everyday life when we get together.
That's why the format, is so easy to execute. Yeah, it's not demanding or causing you to have to perform. Yeah, which that being incorporated into it is such a relief. That's why I'm able to do it, because I'm not a fan of performing. I can appreciate it, and I can appreciate a good performance, but the having to be on and perform, like imagine being Pee Wee Herman, like where your whole life is Pee Wee Herman, unless you're Paul Rubens jacking off in a fucking movie theater. It's like no wonder you're Pee Wee Herman all the time.
No.
If people love Pee Wee Herman, you can jack off anywhere you want, but.
I know of a modern day kind of Pee Wee Herman. It's kind of a modern day, I guess you say that. His name is Petey Normal.
Yeah, you try to
I mean,
plug
he
Petey
doesn't-
Normal periodically.
He doesn't masturbate in movie
That's
theaters
good.
that
Yeah,
much.
it's,
I mean, he
just
might
make that distinction.
He might, but I mean, it hasn't come out yet.
Camera's off. Now we really don't have to perform.
All right. Wait.
Oh,
I thought it changed your mind.
I don't know. I won't take my pants off yet.
I know, right? As we stare like deer in headlights at the camera.
No, I think it's dead.
Oh, okay.
I was going to suggest we use your camera because it will go longer for whatever reason, whether it's battery or the way that it's set. But, we didn't, and we're out. Done deal.
Well,
Nah, let's not.
oh, did you find the cable to download that? Or do you have a cable to download that from the camera, or do you take the card out?
I take the card out.
Because if you can find the cable, right, that you can download it to help charge the battery. Oh wait, it's the charge. How do you charge the battery?
I've got a cord now to charge the battery, because I found a bunch of compatible cords that will charge the battery for that.
Well, when you're charged, if you take that out of the case, you can use that with the charger when it's plugged into a charger, not when it's plugged into the computer. If it's plugged into the computer, it won't turn on like a camera. But if you plug it into a charger, it will turn on and work just like a camera.
I see. Okay.
Because I experimented with mine, and it will do that. So you don't have to. So you don't have to worry about.
Well, that cord's only this long though, so it's
that's fine.
Yeah. But
you just got to get a little extension up to it, and that's it.
Pardon me. I did buy a cord for the camera to the laptop, or not the laptop, but the Mac, because I was trying to use this as
a different plug-in in the Mac, huh?
Well,
it's not a USB.
Okay, so
or is it?
That so one of those inputs is for the charger, and one of them is HDMI. It's a micro.
The small tiny.
Yeah, it's a micro
HDMI.
HDMI. That's what that is.
Right.
So I went to seek out a HDMI cable, a cord, because that's what's missing is that. So I wanted an HDMI, micro HDMI that comes out of that and goes into here, into a USB, which is essentially what it comes with. You've got one.
No.
Yeah.
Not the mini one, because there's two plugs. Mine goes into the bigger one, not the smaller one.
You had the smaller one. That's how you transfer data from the camera to.
It's the bigger one. I can show you.
Well, how did we transfer from the cord then? Because it won't transfer from the cord. That won't.
It will. That's why I was kind of curious about what because if you look at the end of that, that's the bigger plug. That's not the small one.
Yeah.
Because the smaller one is like really small.
Yeah.
And I could transfer it with this. If you plug it into the computer, it automatically does that. If you plug it into power, it automatically just does power. So you just need to get this cable, and you can run it to just a little extension.
Well, I have that, but I've not had the same results. Like,
you probably plugged it into a computer and tried to use it as a camera. You can't plug it into your computer and use it as a camera. You got to plug it into a power plug, one of these.
Yeah, well, that might be the problem. That might be that's why I'm trying to get the HDMI so that I can use it as a camera.
When it's plugged into, so that streams.
Yes.
That's okay. Now I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Because it's just a record, we could do it that.
So now I went and got.
But you could probably do both. You could probably have both those plugged in at the same time. If one's running power and then one's streaming. Then you could have a solid power the entire time. See what I'm saying?
I do. So I ran into problems, and I don't know where those problems factor in, what they mean. Because I went and I couldn't find the exact cord. I couldn't find the micro HDMI to a USB, although I'm sure that it exists. In fact, I know that it exists. Someone showed me one. Yeah, they showed me one online.
When you were asking them, did you say this is for GoPro?
Yeah, I had it with me. So I went to Target, and they directed me to Best Buy, which is where I was going to go initially. Actually, I'd stopped in at Walmart first too, and they didn't have the thing that they said would work in that capacity. So then, yes, went to the Target, and then they sent me to the Best Buy. Now, at the Target, though, he showed me something online that they said that they had, that they didn't have when I got there. And I went through a bunch of people and finally found someone who was knowledgeable and helpful and tracked stuff down, but we weren't able to find that thing, that micro HDMI to the USB. What we did find was the micro HDMI to HDMI, and then from HDMI there was an adapter to something else that goes into a Mac. There's another port in the Mac. And so it fit, but didn't show up the camera. And
Okay. So you probably have to just go into a different port or whatnot.
you know, I'm not even confident that it's going to work if I use the USB, but you know, maybe if I try this thing that you're talking about, maybe that will work. I'll experiment a little more. But we're right there on the cusp of being able to have multiple things working. And at the very least, what I can do is, if those cords don't work, if I can't use these GoPros as actual webcams, because maybe I can't. I believe that I can, but if I can't, then I'll just go and get a decent webcam to do the show with, and still use the GoPros to be able to edit down a more show.
Yeah.
You know.
Have the live version and then the studio version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive that we can use those. It's
I think
just
so,
the
too.
It's just the right cabling, figuring out the right cabling.
And I should turn you on to this OBS Studio stuff, which is what a lot of streamers use who do the gaming. It's because I've tinkered with it before and had a stream going before. Like I've made just a basic. With this computer, I used the webcam and the audio mic from the computer, and was able to make a stream go onto the internet, onto Twitch. And you could do the same thing for YouTube. And it's a simple program, and from that program, you can queue stuff up to have it transition into, like, we can have two cameras and transition back and forth from this OBS Studio. Like, and have all this stuff queued up to segue into, have whole clips and segments to segue into, and the songs can be in packages that can be just segued into, and so then it can be done live. Yeah. There's and so once that so right there, we're very close to that, and then once that starts happening, we can do it potentially on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube, and Twitch. And there's no real reason to do this other than to do it and to just experiment with it.
Yeah.
You know, no one will be watching, and it'll be fine. But and we won't have a set, you know, because we don't have a set schedule. This is one of the problems of it, is we don't really do it as a set schedule, and which I actually don't think that's a big deal. Like, a lot of these YouTube people are very like, we got to put something out every week, and it's always got to be on the same day, and it's got to be by this time, otherwise these people are going to be freaking out. Yep. Yeah, we're right away.
We have more like the Easter egg podcast.
Yeah. Well, also, like, a lot of what we're trying to do is not cater to that thing. Like, you know, like I've talked about how people love to bitch about things, and they'll bitch about what you talk about if you're talking about something they don't want to hear. Well, we have a show where you can talk about whatever you want, so you shouldn't be restricted by it, and if people don't want to hear it, they can just forward through, you know, to another segment or something. Because, you know, we like to be open-minded here and talk about things, and we'll talk about things whether we like them or not. And speaking of things that we like or not, we should probably move on to songs and finish this show. We got another segment to get to.
Hold on, check it out. Obvious product placement.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's for our viewers only. We're not going to tell you if you're listening.
Oh, that's right. That's not even on.
Oh, that's not even on.
Shit.
So you're not doing a product placement for anyone.
No. I just did some that.
Well, then it's only for the audio listeners, but they don't even know. It's like an
Yeah.
Easter egg. That's a true Easter egg.
That is a true Easter egg.
Well, what was he showing to the camera that wasn't on?
Figure that out.
Yeah, you'll never know. That's like what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Whoa, Cecelia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you please to come home. Cecelia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Whoa, Cecelia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you please to come home. Come on home. Making love in the afternoon with Cecelia. Open my bedroom, making love. I got up to wash my face. When I come back to bed, someone's taking my place. Cecelia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Oh, Cecelia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you please to come home. Come on home. Making love in the afternoon with Cecelia. Up in my bedroom, making love. I got up to wash my face. When I come back to bed, someone's taking my place. Cecelia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Whoa, Cecelia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you please to come home. Jubilation, she loves me again. I fall on the floor and I'm laughing. Jubilation, she loves me again. I fall on the floor and I'm laughing.
stars. Do you know who you are? You shine different than the rest. You're the shine I can't resist. I can't resist. No matter how hard I try to protect my heart, love it fine. And no matter what I do, my heart is drawn to you. I'm scared to step forward, but I can't bear to stand still. I've been deceived so much, I hope that this is real. It's fear of fair trade in matters of the heart. Or should we end this all before it starts all over again? The thrill that precedes when you kiss me, the way you move. Oh, your touch is like a whirlwind. Come in, and you'll see. You shine like a million stars. Do you know who you are? You shine different than the rest. You're the shine I can't resist. You shine like a million stars. Do you know who you are? You shine different than the rest. You're the shine I can't resist.
Okay, Will, you're back, winding down another week of the MAWPCAST 1 radio program. It's our final segment of the show. We're right on schedule. No pressure. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. We watched a really cute dog video earlier.
Oh, it was awesome. That was amazing. That dog was looking so guilty.
Bad dog.
Whereas he was just smiling, going, yeah, I did. It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Not in trouble, but
That was awesome. I love that. Of course, if you follow me on Facebook at all, you'll know that's what my Facebook is all about. Cute, little, adorable animals. Every type of baby animal ever. Because all baby animals are cute to me for some reason. I haven't found an ugly baby animal yet. I'm sure there's some arachnids and stuff that were born that are pretty freaking scary looking. But
there's some wrinkly, weird looking things, you know. Not everything's that cute. Some things are cute. You know, I find like rats to be generally disgusting, but there are times where I've witnessed them and it's just like, well, that's kind of cute. Especially in weird contexts, like if you're around in certain areas in Tacoma enough, you'll see daytime rats. And it's weird to see daytime rats. It's just weird. Like, rats very nocturnal and fairly discreet. But, you know, like right down over there by the bus station, there was this big long hedge, and that hedge was infested with rats. It's gone now, but, well, it was there. It was infested with rats, and you can see darting around. And I just was there one day, you know, catching Pokemon or something, and because I played that Pokemon Go for a couple months. So on that, played that Pokemon Go for a couple months, I was standing in different places all over town, and this particular day I was standing there, and that was happening, and I saw some rats. I was like, well, you know, they're kind of cute. Daytime rats are kind of cute. It's not like a nighttime rat where it's like, oh, nighttime rat. Yeah, like I remember walking out there to Fife a couple times and crossed the bridge there in that dark stretch past the bridge before you start getting to the motels and the stuff in Fife. There's just rats all over down there. Man. Like there's across the sidewalk as you're walking down. Yeah.
When are they gonna fix that bridge, or what are they doing with that anyway?
Well, I honestly don't know. I can't say with any authority. I seem to remember there being talk of it being fixed or replaced, and I don't recall which. And
I think they're saying, "Fuck it, we'll just take it out and leave it at that."
it seems like no, it seems like they've got to install a bridge there, right? Like that's huge.
I don't see any.
I mean, or
to me, that is like a vital road. I would think.
Unless fuck Fife. I mean, fuck them.
Yeah.
Let them just go. You're on your own, pal. Until you all die off, and we can just annex you as part of Tacoma.
Something. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know either. I personally miss it because I would actually.
Well, yeah, for you, especially for anybody that's walking.
Yeah,
that's like a vital pathway.
Yeah, I can't walk to Fife now.
Yeah.
Just can't.
Yeah.
Can I? I don't think so.
You can't. You can't walk there. You'd have to take a bus of some sort.
Yeah. Which is how I
mean, literally, the only way you would be able to do that is if you walked all the way down River Road to that bridge and then cross that bridge. But I don't even know if you can walk across that bridge. Is there a walkway across that bridge?
I've not ever walked across it that I can remember, so I don't know.
And I don't know if there is or not. I mean, I'm sure there's something of a sort, but yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that. I always kind of wondered. Well, at first I was just like, oh yeah, that bridge sucks. They need to replace it anyways. Now it's gone, and it's just like, okay, now what? You're just gonna make a big old Dukes of Hazzard ramp and just say, go for it as you want.
Guess we'll see. It can take them a long time to do things sometimes.
Well, yeah.
This overpass to McKinley was out for a long time, but then they just kind of put it up in a couple of months, a few months there, and it was good to go. And it's great that it's back. Mm-hmm. So I assume it's coming back. It's just how they do things.
Yeah.
I would have assumed they would have started the procedure before they finished it, but whatever.
Yeah. Maybe they're still selling Girl Scout cookies to finish the construction or something.
Not all the planning. I mean, I'm not the city planner, and I didn't go to school for the shit, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that have been done. It's just some things are weird, and then they make mistakes, like they did with that over there by Sprague. There was some big, huge mistake where the bridge, this freeway project didn't meet up. Like it was.
Oh, they were off like 7 feet or something.
I mean, things happen. I'm not trying to be overly critical, especially. I mean, I'm not in that field. I don't know anything about it. People make mistakes. Mistakes happen. But just overall, certain things. There's been things that like I've altogether said, wow, the city planners, what were they doing? Like, and why were they doing it? And there just seems like there would have been better options, better things. If they were going to all that trouble, spending all that money, why weren't they making things better? Like, because sometimes they're just making things the same. Like, it's like that's exactly how it was. It's just newer now. Yeah. It's like, why didn't, if you were going to all that trouble, why didn't you improve things? Like, and the case with a lot of things is that, they make these plans and then they have to get these plans approved, and then these plans get approved, and by the time that all the processes have gone through and they've started to execute the things, and then the project's finally finished, by that time it's 10 years later. Yeah. And by 10 years later, the infrastructure's been deteriorating for 10 years, and then
the budget's increased 45%,
and then all the populations increased because of the influx of people, because Seattle's too expensive to live.
The project actually needs to be changed or altered. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's reasons for everything, but they're not always the best reasons.
Well, it's just like Ording Highway, where I live on. People complain about that all the time, and I'm just saying, widen the road. Yeah. I mean, the people are already there. The houses are already there. The traffic is already there. The only way to alleviate that is by either killing off half the people, which you can't do that.
Nope.
So you got to widen the road. You got to make the path bigger for the people. And you know, and people got to start using that damn road right too, because people will go down that road 30 miles per hour, and it's a 50-mile-per-hour road, and then they'll just say, "Oh well, you know, this is a country road, blah blah blah." Well, yeah, but you know, the speed limit's 50 miles per hour on that country road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But people just don't, and it's just, but it's all the time, and people just will just cause clogs, and then they complain about all the traffic.
Well, it's a dangerous road. Like if you're really taking it, especially at that speed and with as little accessibility as there is to it, you know, you've got to jump out onto that road going 50 and being able to keep
spots,
up.
Yeah, and that's and people had ideas of putting roundabouts in and stuff, which might help.
To help what? Slow it down?
Well, but it would keep the flow steady instead of having stop, start, stop, start. There would actually be kind of a flow, but it wouldn't be regular steady. I don't think that would be the answer. So, you know, there's like that railroad track that runs down a good portion of it, and the only reason they have that there is I think they deliver oil to one place down there, and that's it. So maybe every once a couple of weeks, a train will go down once, or it's like delivering cardboard, or just something dumb. That you could do that with the truck.
Yeah.
You don't need your own lane, your own everything for this one trip. Right there is the lane widening for a big portion of it that could help.
Well, I mean, shit, really, too, if you drive down that road and almost the entire stretch, there's a wide shoulder and a lot of space. You can eminent domain that entire fucking shit and just say, no, it's ours now. It belongs to the state or the city or the government or whatever. We're just fucking making it a 4-lane fucking highway, whatever.
And that's
whatever
what
they
they
want
need
to
to do. That's what they need to
do.
Yeah. But, I mean, if
here's
you really
the thing.
look at it's growing so huge around here that's happening everywhere. Everywhere is.
But how much really has Ording grown?
A lot. Populace-wise, a lot. Because there's huge complexes of houses. Yeah. Giant complex. Hundreds of houses in this area. Then they're clearing out spots for more already.
Okay, so if Ording's growing, because see, it seemed like Ording was pretty restricted for a long time. Like it wasn't growing.
It was for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. But now that they built, I mean, if you drive out there now, when was the last time you drove out there?
It wasn't that long ago. You know, I mean, I was going out there right by your house all the time for berry picking and stuff, like right down there.
Yeah, but if you actually go into the town, once you get over that one bridge, you know, where they put the new bridge in, there was one bridge that they stopped using because it was so bad. They built a bridge that kind of steers around it, a new bridge. Everything after that, just houses.
We're talking about where the overflow is.
Yes.
That's the bridge that they built a new bridge.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've seen that new bridge.
Yeah. Well, it's, everything after that is all new housing complexes. On the left and right.
Well, I know that they've been putting a lot of housing complexes in there. Okay, got that.
And that's where it's at. And they're still doing it. There's still more being built.
So then that kind of.
So the population is already there. Yeah. I mean, there's really no way, either that or create another highway on the other side going out or something, a whole new road altogether.
Well, my thought was that whatever was restricting Ording from growing for so long, because it was it was ripe for the picking, but no one was picking it. Yep. Why was no one picking it?
It got picked.
Yeah. And so since it's now being filled up with people, then it seems like whatever was restricting it from growing is no longer restricting it from growing. So I assumed that whatever was restricting it from growing was keeping it from building that 2-lane highway to bring in more people. So, or 4-lane or whatever. Yep. So,
because if they have a tsunami, or if they have the mountain goes, Ording's gone, and 90% of those people are not getting out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean and
there's a 20-minute delay from there to Ording.
That's been the case our entire life, because I used to live out there, and that was a big like I was saying, went to school out there when I was a kid for a period of time, a few years, and that was always just the biggest fear that this was going to happen and wipe us all out, and because nuclear threat was waning.
I'm talking about Mount Rainier.
No, I know. That was our immediate threat, was that was going to come down and wipe out everyone. And we were kind of on the hill and took solace in that maybe we would not get hit. We could escape through the top. But
if you're somewhat on a hill, if you have the ability to go higher, you're gold.
Yeah.
Because as long as you get up to like 500 feet, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Like right here, you're perfect because it's going to come all the way into the tide flats.
Right.
So.
And that sound means it's probably time to wind the show down. I don't know why, but that's what the sound means today. Sometimes it means other things. Sometimes it just means that I have to update something on my computer. But today,
computer is saying, "Yep, more issues."
It's stayed on all day. I haven't touched it once.
Oh shit!
Yeah, even on this screen, it's just I've just left it be, and I've not drawn any attention to that, and just let it be.
Well, now it's got to do it because that's
probably.
All right.
But also, I just touched the mouse, so that'll keep it going. Just that alone, that buys it another couple of minutes. But I haven't done it. Just the whole day, it's decided to stay on. Yeah. When I came in here, the internet wasn't working, but now the internet works. Just things.
Bizarro world.
The world, yeah. Just hard drives that are suddenly unwritable, and cords that are proprietary and only to transfer information that they want to, and devices that only do things when they feel like they're going to do the things, and lengths of time that aren't the lengths of time they say they are.
No, my computer, the fancy one they have with touchscreen and everything, I guess it doesn't have a legit Windows on it or some shit like that, because it keeps telling me that I need to do something or blah, blah.
Register it.
Yeah, or something weird like that, because it's got this thing on the side, and there's certain things that I can't do because of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I don't want to put it on any. I don't want to put any programs on it.
I understand
until that happens. So I'm trying to figure out that scenario.
Like I had spent a lot of my life buying used computers or getting hand-me-down ones, and I worked around different issues, and sometimes I've had different people would install a program of Windows on it that would turn out to be like a pirated program or whatever it was. Or for whatever reason, So inevitably, when I went and started getting my own stuff new and not having those problems, like having the Windows installed on it, like this one had Windows 10 when I bought it, and it was all registered, and it was mine, and there was no problems. And there's not been. It's just been so many things that I didn't have to deal with. Because I alone, like with my limited knowledge of navigating computer stuff, I have enough problems to deal with. But I managed to do things despite that limited knowledge, and it's even more difficult with all the different things to work against. Like for instance, now I've got that Mac, and I'm seeing the difference between using this, even when this was new, compared to using that Mac. And that Mac's way better than this. It's a Mac Mini, but it's still better than this, and especially where this is now. This computer's ability to function has just been greatly reduced. Anyway, we're just rambling about things the people don't need to hear anymore. They're done. They want to hear songs now. The show's over. It came to its natural conclusion, and they're like saying, dudes.
Stop it.
Play the fucking songs. Play the songs. All right, so we're out. We're playing the songs. Thanks, guys. Have a great day and a great week. And Chris may not be here next week. We don't know what's going to happen next week, but we'll try to get him on location and talk to him live from Hawaii from his vacation. That's what we'll do. Yeah. The on location vacation.
I'm going to attempt to give a jellyfish an interview.
Can see if we can find Pele out there in the jungles. Appease the god of the volcano. Somehow.
Something like that.
Give her a fish or something. I don't know what you do.
I will be flying above a volcano at some point while I'm there. So
make a sacrifice.
Try to. Well, if I have to save the world that way, then that's the way it's got to be done. But,
I'm wondering if we should give you something to sacrifice.
I don't know if they'll allow me to.
What are they going to stop you? What are they going to do? Basically, if you just sneak it out and throw it out, then you'll be done. And then they'll bitch at you, but then you'll explain, I was appeasing the god.
I'm sure that's been done many a times, and I'm sure that they're probably going to give me a very long lecture beforehand because there is no doors on it. Like, do not jump into the volcano.
Do not throw things out into the volcano to appease gods. There are no gods to appease in this volcano. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening and for watching if that's what you're doing. And be sure to like and subscribe if that's the things that you're into doing, and sharing the show with your friends, doing all the things that you like to do with things that you enjoy.
Absolutely.
Have a great time and enjoy the songs. Thanks.
All right. Peace out.
Now you got me where you want me. I ain't going no place. I'm just a big disgrace. Riding around, playing the role, watching all the guys lose control. You're not as cool as you think you are this time.
knows no more you are lost. The court of ancient rulers judge you to be spurious, impostor of emotion and general of the unreal. The day of detonation, scattered all voices fall from you. Tell me what you're gonna do. I've been waiting way too long, trying to find words to bring you home. I've been waiting way too long, trying to find you all again.
Said paddle your own canoe, well I'll try not to sing. Well, I wasn't born the same as you, but I'll try not to think that it makes a difference. 50% of marriages fail. I don't think that means divorce is normal. I just think it means the trauma is coming and we need to notice. So many women end up getting raped when they go off to college or out on a date. What can we say to them? And what can you say to me? What are we supposed to do? I guess paddle our own canoe like you.
Okay, let's look up. Question one, don't join in a lie. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Abnegation. Always make it up. But you know what you did. You like a bad attention, but you keep them well in. And I'm just blind, cause you're young and think like us. The world is gonna have. I say, don't play me back, you're so full of shit. Don't try to lie. It's not my fault. Not my fault. It's not my fault. Abnegation. Wait, did one. Don't try to live a lie. Tell me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Abnegation. You guys want to hear something cool? That song's about how fucked up I used to be, and I didn't know that till like a little while ago. Isn't that rad? Thank you. Go drink beer.
2-8 taxi via hotel November. 5 Kilo 6, change crew.
5 Kilo number 2, following traffic short final, runway 22, clear to land. Taxi straight in on Bravo with me.
5 Kilo.
I've been crossing out the streets and me down on the 6-hole beat. Now got a layover in purgatory. I've been crossing out the streets and me down on the 6-hole beat. And I'm stuck after I terminal. Life was just numbers and averages. Funeral etiquette, death and taxes. Life was just numbers and averages. Funeral etiquette, death and taxes. Nobody taught me how to die. Sure, I've done it once or twice. Nobody taught me how to die. Sure, I've done it once or twice. Nobody taught me how to die. Can't get to heaven on nickels and dimes, yeah. I went to my own funeral the other day, and all anyone could think to say was many mistakes were made. Conscience knows how them bitch drinking virgin one out of stone locusts. A whole man of biblical fame, look his maker in the face and say, "Dig up, can you spare some change?" I've been crossing up the streets and me down on the 6-hole beat. I got a layover in purgatory. I've been crossing up the streets and me down on the 6-hole beat.
Naja, we came to get you, but we ain't got you. We saw a girl who looks just like you, but she's not you. And I've clearly joined the ranks of the insane, who wait for girls named Naja in the rain. Naja, Bobby's told me all about you, that you were cool just like Bukowski or Sinatra. But for now I've joined the ranks of the insane, who wait for girls named Naja in the rain. Naja, now that I've met you, I know he was right about you. Except I think you're really cooler than Sinatra. And now I'm not feeling so insane for waiting to meet you in the rain.
call.